She's 12 years old. Her reaching out to rescuers from underneath the rubble of her school in Mexico City is gripping her nation and indeed much of the world. That story of hope in a disaster. There are at least 2 other children with her, and one official says there may be as many as 5 more. The 12-year-old tells them they're alive too. Large pipes are now on the scene to make a tunnel into the rubble for searchers. Crews are using cameras and heat sensors to pinpoint where she is trapped. Heavy rain overnight is adding to the challenges, further destabilizing the area. Crews are shoring up the school with hundreds of wooden beams. Rescuers say large chunks of concrete are blocking them from being able to reach her. Now, we're not hearing any confirmed information about the girl's parents or whether they are also on site. Officials say 21 children and 4 adults are confirmed dead at the collapsed school, but as many as 30 others, and many of them children, are still missing.
La respuesta de la gente, estamos topados en todo lo que es agua, medicamentos. La ayuda fue de inmediata, personas ofreciendo comida. La solidaridad está al tope. La gente está muy preocupada por los niños. ¿Qué nos espera el día de mañana? Es el día de mañana seguir trabajando y reconstruir.
And covering that for us, for CBC News, from inside the quake zone, is Greg Rasmussen, who's on the telephone from Mexico City. And we're looking at this scene, Greg. We're, of course, watching that school rescue, one of many scenes similar happening in Mexico City alone. And there's a real urgency in the disaster zone this morning.
Definitely. I think as we hit day 3, people know that the clock is ticking, and there is a real sense of urgency here that they need to keep up with this work. You mentioned weather has been an issue, the rain. Last night there were thunder showers, wind, so that made conditions even more difficult. But the rescuers are persevering. They're working around the clock on this. It's really amazing to go to these sites, and you talked in detail there about the one scene at the school, but really there are many sites spread across Mexico City and indeed south of Mexico City, closer to the epicenter, where buildings have collapsed, people are feared trapped inside, and around those areas, it's incredible just to watch how things are being mobilized. The professionals that are there, the teams of volunteers that have rushed in to do what they can. And also, the most heart-wrenching part is watching the friends and relatives of the missing who are gathered and just waiting for news. You see lists of both survivors, people who've been rescued, and also lists of those confirmed dead at these sites. So that's just heartbreaking to watch.